Does capital really flee because of fear? While Mango Excellent Media's share price was close to being cut in half and its market value was evaporating, a mysterious new company quietly appeared. Are they shifting assets or preparing a golden cicada sheds its shell escape? And there's something even more startling. Some say that behind Yankee stands not only capital, but a vast family power network stretching back hundreds of years and spanning both politics and business, possibly even with backing at the central level. The most moving image, though, appeared in Shanghai. Under such high-pressure surveillance, that person's face suddenly appeared once again on an electronic screen in a subway station. At the same time, just for mentioning Ayumi Hamasaki's concert in a WeChat group, the police knocked on the door of an ordinary person. The truth is still fermenting and the game is still ongoing. Today, we're going to peel back these layers of fog and look at the latest developments. Don't miss the next drop, subscribe, and hit the bell. Chinese actor Yu Minglong died under mysterious circumstances in September, and the fire ignited by his death has still not gone out. In our previous episode, we mentioned that this wave of public anger directly impacted the capital market. The parent company of Yu Minglong's former agency Tianyu Media, the famous Mango Excellent Media, has seen its stock price slide like a playground slide, falling nonstop. From 36 yuan in September, it has now dropped below 24 yuan. But everyone, never underestimate these seasoned capital players. While netizens were watching the stock and cheering at the karma, they were already making moves behind the scenes. Recently, sharp-eyed netizens dug up a bombshell. On September 23rd, less than 2 weeks after Yu Minglong's incident, when public opinion had just begun to boil, a new company called Mango Chuangjian was quietly established. Take a moment to savor this timing. Isn't it a little too coincidental? According to Tianyanka data, the legal representative of this new company is Cheng Hao, and its registered capital is as high as 80 million renminbi. Its business scope is written very broadly: online cultural operations, internet information services, online data processing, and so on. Looking at its list of shareholders, Changsha Malinshan Investment Development, Mango Excellent Media, all are core members of the Mango system. Experienced investors immediately understood what this means. What do you call this? You call it changing the vest and continuing to fish. A strong voice has emerged online. Is this asset transfer? Are these people feeling guilty and scared that the Mango Excellent Media brand will be completely ruined, even face liquidation, so they hurriedly created a clean new shell, moved the assets over, and kept the party going? This kind of maneuver is not uncommon in the capital market. But doing this at such a critical juncture, this kind of a crafty rabbit has 3 burrows, operation only highlights the panic in their hearts. A double resistance, the supernatural and the real. Capital may want to run, but the audience's memories are not so easily erased. Beyond the stock market, movie theaters have become the second battlefield. Do you still remember the actress Tian Herong, whom we mentioned before? In the online revelations surrounding Yu Minglong's case, she was alleged to be heavily involved. Recently, her self-directed and self-starred film My World Without Me suffered an epic humiliation. According to an entertainment blogger in Jiangsu, the film's box office on opening day was only 2.83 million yuan, and the second day it dropped straight to 2.3 million. Theater managers are not fools. Once they saw the trend, they slashed its screenings. In the end, after only 5 days in theaters, the film slunk away and was pulled from release. Another blogger put it in a particularly satisfying way. This contest between public opinion and capital ultimately ended in victory for netizens. This generation of netizens is unbelievably united and powerful. This incident delivered a resounding slap in the face to all arrogant capitalists. Box office numbers are no longer something you can manipulate at will. The audience's choice is the real hard truth. Speaking of which, there's a particularly amusing side story. It sounds a bit supernatural, but it has been circulating wildly online. I'll share it with you and you can judge for yourselves. A spiritual medium calling himself Oriental Shaman claimed that Tian Herong and another actress implicated in the case, Song Erin, went to worship a fox spirit out of fear of retribution. But guess what? The fox spirit refused them. The reason, allegedly, was that they were too old and not up to the required standard of appearance. With no other options, the two then turned to a spider spirit. It's said the spider spirit did accept them, but recently the spider spirit was dragged down to hell. In other words, these people now have no guardian spirit helping them. They are running naked. Some netizens burst out laughing after reading this revelation, saying, "Whether this Oriental shaman is telling the truth or not, at least I got a good laugh." In fact, the popularity of such stories reflects a certain psychology. People want those who harmed Yu Menglong to suffer retribution and see justice done for him. The screens in the Shanghai metro lit up. Even though the authorities are desperately suppressing the topic, cooling public sentiment, deleting posts, nuking accounts, the candles lit in memory of Yu Menglong across this land have never gone out. Right after Yu Menglong passed away, we could still see fan-organized memorial displays on large screens in shopping malls around the country. But lately, people have noticed that such displays have almost disappeared in mainland China. Everyone knows the reason. The authorities won't allow it, and Capital doesn't dare to touch it. Yet on December 4th, a beam of light pierced the darkness. A photograph went viral online. The location was Pengpu Xinsuan Station on the Shanghai metro. In that crowded, heavily monitored station, Yu Menglong's image once again appeared on a giant electronic screen. This scene instantly broke countless people. Under such extreme pressure, when everyone has been warned to shut up, our friends in Shanghai still use this special method, silently telling everyone, "Please remember him. We have not forgotten." However, we are still verifying the exact date this photo was taken. If anyone watching is from Shanghai, or if you happen to pass through the metro line heading to Xinzhuang, could you help confirm it? Is this image still there? If it is, please tell everyone in the comments. That matters a great deal to us. Now the camera shifts across the strait to Taiwan, where the memorial activities can be described as blossoming everywhere. Beyond Taipei, Tainan, and Keelung on December 5th, another netizen posted on Threads, "Walking out of the train station and seeing this scene, I felt so moved." In the photo, a huge picture of Yu Menglong hangs high on a building. Beneath it is a prominent QR code, the link to a global petition seeking justice for him. Some say time is the best medicine for forgetting. But when it comes to Yu Menglong, netizens' attitude is tough. We're thinking in units of years. Even if it takes many years, they are determined to win justice for him. If you also feel this cannot simply be brushed aside, please type 3 words in the comments. Never forget. Does Yankee have backing at the central level? Next, we're going to talk about a topic in deeper waters. The aftershocks of the Yu Menglong case have now reached the top tier of the entertainment world, Yankee. At first, a spiritual communicator singled him out, claiming he would be the next victim, and netizens noticed that the setup of his concert looked extremely strange, like a sacrificial ritual. But soon, the wind shifted. Some revelations claimed that Yankie's uncle is named Ishu. This Ishu once served as a senior executive at Yu Menglong's agency Tianyu Media and later founded Fuxing Media, signing the late actor Qiao Renliang. Netizens dug up a video from back then. At an award ceremony in 2010, Qiao Renliang publicly said that his enemy was Ishu, whose nickname was Lady Guagua. At that time, there really was a show called Lady Guagua, and its producer was Ishu. Adding to that, in one of Yu Menglong's final live streams, he made the puzzling remark, "Even S death can be very artistic," leading many netizens to suspect that this Ishu might be a key weaver in this dark web. But if it were only an uncle in the entertainment industry, that still wouldn't fully explain Yankie's massive resources. Recently, an article claiming that Yankee has backing at the central level has been circulating online. The article states that Yankie's ancestral home is Yang in Hunan. This Yang clan is no ordinary family, it is a very famous lineage, both locally and nationally. According to statistics, since the founding of the PRC, this family has produced 5 officials at the vice-provincial/provincial ministerial level or above, and more than 4,000 public servants. The list is jaw-dropping. The current Communist Party Secretary of Hunan, Lianhong, the recently fallen former CSRC chairman Hui Man, the well-known scholar Zhangtian, who is said to share the same great-grandfather as Yankee, as well as a deputy political commissar of the Hunan Provincial Military District, the mayor of Huaihua, and others. However, the article has some discrepancies with the facts. According to the family genealogy, during the Jiaoding era of the Southern Song dynasty, an ancestor named Zibingong of the clan migrated south to Qianyang, Hunan, and his descendants have flourished there for over 800 years. Thus, people surnamed in Qianyang regard Zibingong as their ancestor and call themselves the Zibingong family. In 1997, Qianyang merged with Hongjiang to form the new Hongjiang city. Yankee, born in 2000 in this Hangjiang city, should be a member of the Zibingong family. The earlier claim that this family produced 5 vice-provincial/provincial ministerial-level officials and more than 4,000 public servants does match the introduction on the Zibingong Great Family public account, which also mentions Yi Yanqiangxi and describes him as an outstanding clan member. Yi Zhongtian has been photographed with the head of the Zibin Ancestral Hall, and he strongly promoted the film Better Days starring Yi Yanqiangxi. Therefore, it is highly likely that Yi Zhongtian is also a member of the Zibingong family and is relatively closely related to Yi Yanqiangxi. However, Yi Huiman was born in Wenzhou, Zhejiang, so whether he has any connection with the Zibingong family is a big question mark. Furthermore, how closely Yi Yanqiangxi is related to the 5 high-ranking officials in his clan is something we simply cannot know. But one thing is certain. The resources Yi Yanqiangxi has enjoyed since his debut are far beyond what a child from an ordinary family could ever dream of. This led to the biggest controversy, the public institution recruitment incident of 2022. In July of that year, the National Theatre of China was recruiting. Yi Yanqiangxi's name appeared on the list. For ordinary people, getting such an establishment post means a battle of thousands of troops crossing a single log bridge, written exams, interviews, every step a brutal elimination. But him? He was exempted from the written exam and admitted directly through the interview. This touched the nerve of all ordinary citizens at the time. Why him? The authorities responded with only one arrogant line: "We will issue a unified reply." Naturally, this made people suspect that there really was a towering tree behind him. Beyond political power, he is also widely suspected of having capital and public opinion manipulation backing him. Although Yi Yanqiangxi has never publicly identified his father, netizens used equity tracing to basically pin down that his father is called Yi Shangjie. This name is connected to more than a dozen companies. One of them, drawing the most criticism, is called Chengxin Tianxia Network. Industry insiders revealed that this company previously specialized in running water armies, selling large numbers of small accounts to fan groups for comment control, tens of thousands of accounts at a time. Although the legal representative has denied this, netizens joked, no wonder all the fan circle money ended up with his family. They control an entire water army industrial chain. What's even more interesting is that Yi Shangjie was once sued by a bank for owing only tens of thousands of yuan on his credit card and was officially recorded as having no house and no car. Yet he could turn around and buy into a company with registered capital of 5.8 billion yuan. Just how many secrets are hidden in these capital flows? Criminalized for speech, police knocking because of Ayumi Hamasaki's concert. Finally, let us turn our gaze back to Shanghai and talk about Japanese diva Ayumi Hamasaki's disappearing concert. The subsequent developments have sent chills down people's spines. On November 29th, Ayumi Hamasaki's Shanghai concert was suddenly cancelled at the last minute. Yet she insisted on singing the entire show to rows of empty seats. It should have been a touching story of honoring a contract. However, the Chinese state-run outlet The Paper popped up to debunk the rumor, saying the so-called empty concert was false information and that it was just rehearsal footage secretly filmed. But Ayumi Hamasaki herself posted photos. Why did the authorities lie? Because they fear the truth. And that fear has already spread to ordinary people. On December 4th, a Taiwanese netizen revealed that a friend of his in mainland China was visited by the police simply for chatting with 2 friends in a WeChat group about the Ayumi Hamasaki empty concert. Note, not a phone call. The police came directly to his home for a talk. The police's reason was that he had been talking irresponsibly in the group. The process was like a household registration inspection. They went through all his personal information. In the end, this friend was forced to apologize, write a letter of guarantee, leave the group, and delete those 2 friends. Afterward, this mainland friend said something that really broke my heart. Just for saying something unpleasant, you end up like me today. I feel that if, in a society, the weak can't speak out, then one day the rights of ordinary people will all be lost. The Taiwanese netizen asked him, "So do you still want unification?" He replied, "From the perspective of national interests, the mainland is never going to allow hostile forces at its doorstep." You see, that is the saddest part. People have already been atomized by various surveillance methods. Even when they're aware of the danger, they're still bound tightly by that grand narrative. From Mango Media's Changing the Vest, Escape, to the Red Family web behind Yi Yanqiangxi, From the stubbornly glowing image in the Shanghai subway to ordinary people whose doors are knocked on by police for a few casual remarks in a WeChat group. The events of this week may appear scattered, but they all point to the same truth. This is a war between memory and forgetting, and a confrontation between ordinary people and a gigantic machine of power. Capital can change its name and keep making money. Police can knock on your door over a single sentence. They appear omnipotent, so powerful it makes people despair. But those boycotted movie tickets, that fleeting face on the subway screen, those messages that say never forget all prove one thing: the human heart is the one thing they can never control. As long as we're still talking, as long as we're still paying attention, this battle is one they have not yet won. You, watching the screen right now, what do you think of the family power behind Yankee Yanxi? How long do you think that photo in the Shanghai subway can stay up? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. If you also care about these truths, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share it. Letting more people see it is the strongest counterattack we can make against the darkness.